Hey folks, Craig here. Welcome to part 2 of my Tassie adventure. In this video, James and I head up to the Central Highlands and we target trout in both Arthur's Lake and also down on Penstock Lagoon. For those who don't know, Penstock Lagoon is a fly fishing lake only. So I haven't fly fished for a number of years, and thanks to my physio, I was actually able to fly fish for a few hours. It's renowned for its big angry trout, and if you actually can get a fish to even rise, I think you've done really well. To catch one's an even a bigger bonus. So we really enjoyed it. The Highlands this time of year can be quite difficult. The fish, the water temperatures can be quite high. So optimum temperature for trout is around 8 to 16 degrees. Arthur's was sitting around about 17 degrees, so it was a little bit hot, but there was still plenty of fish around. We were targeting them on the rocky edges where that wind was blowing in amongst the weed, and they were ambushing the little minnow style lures. So we had a lot of fun. It was great to spend some time with James on Arthur's. It's a special place to me. We are going to spend more time in this video going through the gear we're using and also the techniques, and so that's covering both spin tackle and also our fly gear, and hope you can get something out of it. Alright, James got a bit of a yak about the gear we were using yesterday on Arthur's Lake. Now he towed me up 3-zip, so but it was a pretty tough day, which is common for this time of year, that water temperature's getting up to the higher echelon of what the trout like. But yeah, once we sort of got the pattern of the fish we're holding on the rocky shores, certainly had that pattern down pat. Run us through the gear and a little bit about the technique you're using.
I've got a matched pair of BK custom rods from Ben Kavosic, local rod builder in Tasmania. He also does some local lures. He uses blanks from different companies and paints them up for Tassie colours. This rod and another rod like it are both 7 foot, fast action, up to a quarter ounce lure weight. I use both these rods for both brim and trout. This is an MW62 in a trout pattern. Technique, basically for trout, I use a slow roll.
Again. Little guy. You got? Where is that little guy? Little baby.
Acrobatic fish.
Little baby. Yeah, nice.
Hard bodies, Craig.
Morning, James. Today we are preparing for a day on Penstock.
Yes.
And you're going to run us through a little bit of prep that you're doing. You're currently setting up the fly rods. Run us through what you're going to be using and how you're going to set it up.
So we've set up your fly rod. We've put what is known as a shaving brush, which imitates a mayfly coming out of its shell, hatching on the water, and basically trout candy, and the trout come up and hopefully take that down, sip it down, and you lift onto the trout and hopefully you get it. I'm doing a slightly different thing. I'm using a parachute emerger fly, and on that fly I'm tying a trailing piece of leader about 18 inches to 2 foot long, tying a Then I'm putting on a slightly weighted, what we call a duck fly. It's made out of the feathers of a wood duck.
Now we're having a bit of a look at the outfits we're going to be using today. So
I've got a Z-axis 5 weight and a Z-axis 6 weight. Reels on these, I've got a, on the 6 weight, I've got a Hardy Viscount reel, which is absolutely beautiful, and it's probably the best sounding of my fly reels when a trout runs. It just sounds so good when a trout runs. And on the other on the 5 weight, I have a small Shimano Integra reel, which has become a collector's item because there weren't a lot of them made.
as I said earlier, Penstock was fishing quite tough, so James and I were quite optimistic around our chances of actually landing a fish for the day. We saw the odd fish rise, and really a minimalistic dun hatch. So we stuck it out. We fished for probably the first 4 hours, and we're just about to sort of pack it in. And I said to him, look, give me 10 minutes up on Ladies Walk. So we motored back up there. I forgot to turn the GoPro back on, which was really annoying. And probably within 3 to 5 minutes, had a really big brown come up, take my fly, hooked it, and then had it on for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, big splash, and then gone. So that was pretty devastating given how hard you work for one of those fish. So, but as you'll see in the little bit of footage coming up, we did have a couple of other opportunities, but to no avail. It's a special place, love the Highlands, and yeah, I can't wait to get back down. Yep. Oh, that was a refusal. He got behind it, and then he just pulled back. Yeah. No, he'd already turned when I saw him. Yeah, so he's come up there looking, and then he's gone, nah, I want it. If you are enjoying the content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Cheers.